Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Undersecretary Fordyce, for being here today. Prior to passing H.R. 1, one of the biggest priorities for my farmers was updating the farm safety net to reflect the needs of today. Mr. Fordyce, in your opinion, how will the updates made to ARC and PLC and H.R. 1 continue to keep pace with producers as they face new and existing headwinds well into 2031?
Thank you for that question. I do think that really some of the historic changes to ARC and PLC that were in the Working Families Tax Cut Act are transformative. I believe it was 2014, the last time reference prices were addressed. So the increase in reference prices related to those two programs is critical. Couple that with an additional 30 million acres of base acres that are going to be allocated across the country. And I think, I think when we look at what that program is going to look like for the next iteration of ARC and PLC, it's going to be incredibly positive.
Switching gears a bit to conservation. Mr. Fordyce, I had an opportunity to discuss the Advanced Markets for Producers, or the AMP Act, with Secretary Rollins last year when she testified before this committee. And I was encouraged by my discussion with the Secretary, and I was particularly pleased to see that the program would focus on providing most of the funding directly to farmers. Mr. Fordyce, can you share with us an update on AMP and USDA's vision for the future here? How is USDA redirecting the program to ensure that dollars and practices put farmers first?
Yes, sir. Another good question. So the AMP program was an attempt to get existing grants reconfigured, and I would just compliment the grantees, the folks that had the initial grants, and their ability to work with USDA to redraft those agreements. And I would say that one of the paramount changes that we made was each one of those grants needed to at least contribute 65% of the value of that grant directly to farmers. And again, I will reiterate that that the grantees were more than willing to come to the table and talk through changes as to how that could happen. And in just reconfiguring those grants with that priority in mind, we were able to add an additional close to $500 million of that total grant that would actually go directly to farmers.
The Watershed Program is one of the most effective, locally led flood prevention programs in the nation and represents nearly 1/3 of all dams ever built by the federal government. H.R. 1 rightly included historic investments into this program. However, today there is a significant unobligated funds and at the same time a lengthy backlog of projects waiting for approval. This administration has been heavily focused on cutting red tape, and I believe the Watershed Program could benefit from that mission. Mr. Fordyce, I'd like to ask you to work with me to identify steps at the NRCS that they can take to ensure the timely delivery of these life-saving dams. Will you work with me on this, Mr. Undersecretary?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Your testimony highlighted the $34 billion increase in conservation programs through 2031. In your opinion, what will this mean for popular voluntary programs like EQIP that we know are oversubscribed?
So I do believe the additional funding is critical. As I answered a little bit ago, EQIP and CSP are popular programs, along with the RCPP and others within the Natural Resources Conservation Service. I think it's certainly critical. And one of the things that I've witnessed really my entire adult life is farmers and ranchers will always do the right thing when they know what the right thing is. And I'm referring to conservation really in that vein. And I think we've learned a lot. We know more about how can we improve the landscape through new technologies, new innovations. A focus on soil health is something that, it's relatively new, but I think critically important.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Yield back, Mr. Chairman.